another pregnancy related video. In today's video, I'm sharing with you guys about 10 tips on how to have a drug-free labor. I want to start off by saying I am by no means against people who choose to have an epidural birth, a birth with more interventions, people who'd have to have a cesarean birth, whether you're having your baby inside your home, a birth center, or a hospital. Do what works for you. This video is just to encourage women who are trying to at least attempt a natural birth and saying that your body is totally capable of doing it, but sometimes there definitely needs to be intervention. So I'm just going to share with you guys what has worked for me in previous births and what I'm hoping to achieve this time around as well. Tip number 1 is to get moving. Move around. This works for early labor as well as for transitional labor up until you are ready to deliver that little baby. Laying on your back is by no means the best way to have a baby. In my opinion, I have done it in the past. You cannot get comfortable laying on your back. It feels like you're laying on a bag of bricks. And it's just not the optimal position to having a baby. You are up, number 1, on your back, you're not upright. Your baby has nowhere to go when you're laying on your back, so you're being counterproductive. If you are standing or moving or bouncing on an exercise ball or on all fours or something like that, number 1, changing positions will definitely help with pain management. Number 2, it should also help bring your baby out a lot faster so you're not struggling with the pain for as long as you would be if you're sedentary on your back. If you're having a drug-free labor, that means you are typically not attached to a bunch of machines unless you need fluids or you're GPS positive. And it also means that you have free movement of your legs. You do not have the epidural, so you're not bed bound. So utilize that, get moving, and do what's gonna work for you. Dance it out, do whatever, but definitely do not stay laying down. Tip number 2 is to hire a doula or someone who knows what you want out of your birth. Obviously, you have a birth partner there, which is super awesome. Typically, they are your spouse or your partner or your husband or whatever that person might be for you, your mom, your sister, your cousin, anyone who is there is super good at helping you out. A lot of the time, their emotional state, seeing their wife or their friend or their daughter in pain, definitely gives them a little bit of a blur of a shadow. So if you can hire a doula or even someone from the outside to come in, know what you want, know what to expect, especially someone who's been trained for that, is super good. A doula is not a midwife. A doula is there just to support your birth and what you want and make you feel as comfortable as you need, or give you tips on what you can do to manage your pain a little bit better, help you massage your back, get you something when you need it, put a cold cloth on your head, things like that. Hire someone who is going to be there to help support your choices. Number 3 is to stay hydrated. Now, I know this is difficult. A lot of people have nausea, especially as their labors progress. Staying hydrated is so important. Could you imagine running a marathon and not drinking water? Like, your body would completely shut down. You would be exhausted. Not only is drinking water super important during pregnancy, but it's also super important during labor. So if you can't drink a ton of water, get some crushed ice chips. A lot of hospitals do have ice chip machines, a lot of birth centers as well. And if you're home, maybe prep that in advance, whether you get some from the store or crush a bunch of ice at home. Number 4 is keeping healthy snacks on hand. I know a lot of the time when you're in a hospital setting, they don't want you to eat while you're in labor, just in case something goes wrong or you throw up or you need a cesarean section or something. But if you can, have some small snacks, something that's high in protein, high in energy, something that is going to keep you going. Because if you're doing this naturally and you're having a 20-hour labor, you're going to have to eat something. It's definitely crucial in order to keep your body moving and have enough energy to have your baby. Number 5 on my list is definitely more easier said than done, but it's to relax. If you're in early labor, your contractions are just starting, you're having some back labor, it's nighttime, daytime, you have some small kids at home, get some help to come in the house so that you can relax. You need to relax to have your body go through all of the stages that it's going to go through. It's about to go through a whirlwind of emotions, pain, all of that. But you can do it, you just have to relax. If you have time between your contractions, have somebody else time them, close your eyes, breathe, and just relax. you have to relax. My contractions were on top of each other, and when I say on top of each other, my first and second contraction were 1.5 minutes apart. And after about an hour of that, I had like no break between my contractions, like 10 seconds at a most. I did not have time to drink water. I did not have time to do anything. And I mean, I probably had time, I just did not utilize it the way I should have utilized it. And that is what I'm gonna do differently this time around, is definitely use those 10 seconds to take a deep breath, have a sip of water, recoup, and re-go. Know that yes, it is an intense pain. It's the worst pain you will probably be in your entire life. I equated it to someone chopping off my leg. Like, that's how much pain I was in. But it's mind over matter for a lot of it, and you definitely have to breathe. I lost consciousness 6 times during my last birth. I'm totally not the right person to be giving advice on this, but I know what I'm going to do. I know what doesn't work, and I know what is going to work better next time. Breathe. Like, you have to breathe. Otherwise, you'll lose oxygen and you will pass out. So breathe, relax as best as you can. Like I said, I know it's easier said than done, but you can do it. Tip number 6 is to get in a hot bath. I loved the bath while I was in labor. I thought it was so soothing, so helpful to, number 1, I think speed up my birth quite a bit, and number 2, just relax me, help me calm down. It definitely took the edge off the contractions for a little while. It doesn't work forever, let me be completely honest with you guys, but it definitely helps take the edge off. I would say, like, it probably helped the most between 4, 5, and like 8 centimeters. And then after that, there's not a whole lot that's helpful. Just know that your transition, your 8 to 10, and birth is your shortest part typically. But it definitely helped the active labor stage of it to just have a bath. Maybe having a shower as well, but you might want to like a little bench or have your partner close by, because it could be dangerous if you're standing up or something like that and you're by yourself. But a bath was definitely super helpful. Just a tip for you guys, if you guys are going into a hospital birth, maybe bring like a swim top or a sports bra that you don't mind getting wet, like in addition to whatever you're gonna wear, because, well, I don't know if you're comfortable just being in the tub naked, but I prefer to have a bra on. Number 1, we filmed it. Number 2, it was just more comfortable for my peace of mind as well to have a bra, and I think a lot of women feel that way as well. Tip number 7 is to remember that this is your birth. This is your story. This is your body. This is how you are bringing your baby into the world. It is your most important day of your life. It is the hardest thing you are ever going to do. You will remember it for the rest of your life. There is nothing else you will remember as much as giving birth to your baby. What I mean when I'm saying this is that decide the environment you want to bring your baby into the world in. If you don't want super bright lights the whole time you're in labor, if you don't want machines onto you like the heart rate monitor and all that, and baby and everyone seems healthy, speak up. If you want to turn on some music, whether it's rap music, country music, jazz, soft soothing music, whether you want it out loud or in headphones, you should be able to tell the nurse or whoever's in the room, this is what I want, this is what's going to make me feel better, this is what's going to help me. She is sitting there getting paid her 9 to 5 or whatever hours she's getting paid to do it. That is her job. Your job is to bring this baby into the world. So whether you're at home, in a birth center, in a hospital, you should be able to speak up and say, this is what I want. I want to walk the halls, I want a birth ball, I want a bath, I want a shower, I don't want the lights on bright, I want the lights on bright, I want some music. Obviously you have to bring your own music and all of that. I want to use essential oils, I want 5 people in the room, I want no one in the room, you know, things like that. You need to be able to speak up and say, this is what is going to make me be able to have a natural birth. I was definitely a lot younger when I had my first son, and I was super afraid to speak up and say what I wanted. Last time around, I got there and I was like, hey, this is what I want. Going in the tub right now, 4 centimeters. Like, oh, you know, maybe we'll put the heart rate monitor on. See, I'm like, no, baby's moving. You've already checked the heart. Everything seems fine. I am going in the tub, and the nurses were actually really good and just let me go in the tub. The next one actually goes quite along with that, and it's writing down a birth plan. A lot of the time you have an idea of what you want in your head, but you haven't written it down. Your doula is not aware, your nurse or midwife's not aware, neither is your OB, your partner sometimes. You yak so much when you're pregnant. You tell your husband, your partner what you want so many times, and to be honest, a lot of the time they're not even listening because all you do is yak, 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 yak. And they'll be like, oh yeah, I think she said something about not wanting an epidural, but I'm not really sure, like, to what extent this is actually. Maybe if she's in pain and she's crying for it at 7-8 centimeters, and I'll just say, okay, go for it, instead of encouraging. I did mention to you guys in my how I'm getting my body ready for labor video that I cried out for the epidural at 10 centimeters, and my husband was like, he grabbed my face, helped me breathe. He's like, you can do this, you're strong, you've gotten this far. You said you didn't want one, you're not having one, you know, like just encouraging things. Like obviously like, no, there's no way you can't have one. But he was just definitely so encouraging and telling me what I wanted, what my body was capable of, that the baby was almost here. And that is just like probably the most important thing you can have, is a supportive person in the room with you, because going through natural labor is a marathon. It's hard work, it's painful, I'm not gonna lie. But bringing in this beautiful baby with someone that you love, someone who's there for you, someone who has supported you the whole way, has got to be the best way to bring a baby into the world. Again, I'm not against people who have to have alternate measures, but I'm just saying my experience, and that it has been such a gift for me to just be able to have the opportunity and to be able to trust my body in order to do that. You can Google or Pinterest or YouTube search so many different birth plan videos, but it's just like what you want in the room, what you want for pain management, who do you want in the room, kind of just how you want your birth to go. And it should definitely give your birth team a lot more insight on what your non-negotiables are and the things that you're willing to tweak as well in the event that your labor goes well. The last thing on my list is to make sure that the people in your room know what you want and are supportive for what you want. Don't have someone in your room, your sister, your cousin, your mother, if they're going to be shouting, nipping, if they feel like you should have an epidural, if they feel like you're not doing birth the proper way, if they're not going to be 100% supportive towards your wishes, what you want, what you're adamant on, and support that, don't have them in the room. Because ask for another nurse, like if your nurse is nippy. I don't know. All I'm saying is that make sure that your birth team, your support team, is there to support you and your wishes, because it might be your husband's baby or your partner's baby, but it's not their baby until the baby comes out. It's your baby, it's in your body. You are choosing how you are bringing this baby into the world, and you don't need them nipping and telling you to just get the epidural because they don't want to see you in pain, or get the epidural because they're tired of hearing you complain, or get this, the gas mask, or whatever it might be, pain management, because it's too exhausting for them to see you in pain. It's not them, it's you. Like, they can take a walk, go outside. You are the one that is in labor. You are the one that people should be focusing on, and you are the one who chooses what you want during your labor. That is my rant for today. Alright guys, so those are my 10 tips on how to have a natural childbirth. If you guys have any comments for me or more tips, don't forget to leave them in the comments down below. I'm always super excited to get new tips and tricks and see what you guys are doing as well. If you guys are pregnant, let me know how far along you guys are, how you guys are planning on having a birth, if you guys are doing natural or hoping to anyway, or if you guys are having a birth another way, midwife, birth center, OB, whatever you're choosing to do. And I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.
What is it that you do? My life was great